Let's head down to Florida, where the Florida Supreme Court heard oral arguments today on whether an abortion measure will appear on the state's ballot come November. Late last year, the Republican Attorney General asked the court to reject the proposed amendment that would enshrine abortion rights because of what she called misleading language. But hundreds of thousands of registered voters signed a petition forcing the court to take a look. NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor joins us now. Yamiche, this particular amendment would effectively undo the state's current 15-week abortion ban. So first off, just tell us what, reproductive rights advocates did to ultimately get the measure to this point and what we heard in court today.
Well, the group advocating for this amendment, Floridians Protecting Freedom, they gathered more than 1.5 million signatures to put the proposal on the ballot. If approved, it would allow abortion to remain legal until the fetus is viable, which is usually seen as around 24 weeks. But Florida's Attorney General is urging the court to block this effort because she believes the language is deceiving to voters. Today, the lawyers for both sides argued their cases before the Florida Supreme Court. Take a listen.
Nearly 1 million Floridians and counting have made clear they want to vote on the amendment before this court. This amendment follows the directive given by the U.S. Supreme Court in Dobbs that the people should decide how their state may govern abortion.
The amendment itself must be more clear, or else must be explained more clearly by the ballot summary that that's what the sponsors have to do. Because otherwise, the voters don't know what they're voting for.
Now, this is, of course, a court that is a conservative majority, so there were a lot of tough questions on whether or not this ballot measure was overly far-reaching. We'll have to, of course, continue to watch it. Morgan?
Yeah, Yamiche, it was interesting listening to her say the people must decide, because I went down to Florida, I believe it was last month, reporting on this very story. And frankly, the number of Republicans who are breaking ranks with the Republican Party over this issue. A lot of people looking at Florida wondering if this is sort of the canary in the coal mine, because a lot of these other states have been trying these sort of ballot measures. What does this mean? Since we're seeing at least 150,000 of the signatures on this petition come from registered Republicans, what message does that send to other states perhaps considering a similar measure?
Well, really, this really shows that people are tuned in on this issue when it comes to abortion politics. And I want to read a little bit of this polling that we saw. There was a statewide poll by the University of North Florida in Florida that also found that 62% of registered voters who were surveyed in that poll, that they would be in favor of this amendment. That number included 53% of Republicans. It's also important to note that Florida lawmakers already approved a 6-week ban on abortion last year. It's been held up in over legal arguments over the 15-week ban, but this really hammers home the point that voters are tuned in and that abortion politics and abortion restrictions are definitely going to change in the state. Morgan?
Yeah, Kansas, Ohio, Florida. We'll see what other states may follow suit. NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. Yamiche, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.